Ever feel like you're just swimming in news headlines every single day, trying to figure out what actually, matters?
It's a lot. Information overload is real.
Exactly. Which is why we're doing this deep dive. We're zeroing in on Global Pulse, June 24th, 2025 current affairs. Think of it as your shortcut to getting genuinely up to speed.
Yeah, we're taking this snapshot from today, and our job really is to pull out the important bits.
Find the connections, right?
Find the connections, see what's really significant behind the headlines. Hopefully find a few of those aha moments, Understand the why.
Okay, let's jump straight into international affairs then. There were some pretty big geopolitical things happening right now.
For sure.
First up, the NATO summit. It kicked off today, June 24th, in The Hague. You've got all 32 member states there.
Mm-hmm.
And while Middle East tensions are definitely on the table, here's where it gets really interesting. They're talking about a huge increase in defense spending, aiming for 5% of GDP.
5%. Wow.
Yeah, 5%. And alongside that, they've announced a new cyber defense protocol.
Okay, that 5% figure, that's not just a small tweak. That's a major statement, isn't it?
It feels like it.
For an alliance like NATO, pushing that kind of target, it really signals a fundamental rethink of global security priorities. It tells you how they see the current threats.
And their commitment to collective defense, I suppose.
Absolutely. It's got huge implications for global stability, how resources are allocated.
Yeah.
Everything, really.
It definitely sets a serious tone. And speaking of tense situations, there's this fragile ceasefire between Iran and Israel.
Right, the one brokered by former President Trump.
That's the one. It technically started today, but almost immediately there are reports of violations from both sides, so very shaky ground.
Yeah, fragile is the word.
And the human cost is already there. Dozens of casualties reported. Plus, you see the immediate impact on global oil and travel. It ripples out fast.
What's fascinating here is just how quickly that economic impact hits. Yeah, even a brief pause, or the potential for a pause, sends signals through the oil markets. It just shows how tied together peace efforts and economic stability really are. And of course, the human cost is paramount.
Absolutely. And that human cost connects to another ongoing issue, the global march to Gaza. It's this peaceful protest and aid mission planned back in mid-June.
Still getting attention, right?
Yeah, activists are still pushing hard for humanitarian aid access across the Rafah border. A really stark reminder of the people behind these big geopolitical stories.
Definitely.
Okay, now let's pivot completely. From conflicts on the ground to, way out there, space.
Oh.
The Vera Rubin telescope. Just yesterday, June 23rd, it released its first light images. Get this, they revealed over 2,100 previously unknown asteroids.
Wow, 2,100 in one go.
In one go. Okay, let's unpack this.
Well, the significance is pretty clear, isn't it? If we connect this to the bigger picture, it's a massive boost for planetary defense.
Asteroid tracking.
Exactly. Knowing what's out there is step one. This gives us a much clearer map of our cosmic neighborhood, helps us predict potential threats, maybe even mitigate them down the line. It's crucial work.
Quietly crucial, yeah. Okay, let's bring it back closer to home now. Focus on India. Lots happened there today, too.
Right.
Starting with a major diplomatic and humanitarian mission, Operation Sindhu. India's been evacuating its nationals from Iran, over 2,000 people in total.
That's a huge number.
It is. And the latest flight just landed in Delhi today, 3:30 a.m. from Mashhad, carrying 292 evacuees.
Coordinated effort, I assume.
Yeah, Ministry of External Affairs, Indian Air Force, the embassy in Tehran, all working together as part of their long-standing policy protecting citizens in crisis zones.
And this raises an important point, doesn't it? It really showcases India's logistical muscle.
Definitely.
And its commitment, its political will to look after its citizens abroad. These aren't easy operations to pull off.
No kidding. Now, from logistics to literacy, really striking social achievement in Tripura. They've officially declared full literacy. They hit 95.6%. Which is just incredible when you think back to 1961. It was barely over 20%.
That's a staggering jump. How did they manage that?
It seems to be down to this ULAS program, ULAS, Nav-Bharat Literacy Program, plus ongoing adult education, digital classes, and these women-led literacy drives seem to have been really effective.
Wow.
They're calling it a major milestone for their Viksit Bharat 2047 goals.
And it really is more than just a number, isn't it? Achieving that level of literacy, it fundamentally changes a society.
How so?
Well, it empowers people, opens up economic opportunities, boosts civic participation. Especially important when women are leading and benefiting from these drives. It lays the groundwork for so much else, real social progress.
A true foundation.
Okay.
Okay, let's switch gears to the economy. India's private sector PMI for June.
The Purchasing Managers Index, yeah. What's it showing?
Strongest growth in private sector activity in over a year. Seems like real recovery, real momentum, strong demand, outputs up, new jobs being created.
Okay, now what's fascinating here is the PMI itself. It's such a key indicator, right? A leading indicator.
Right. Tells you what might be coming.
Exactly. So strong growth like this, it suggests good things for investment, maybe inflation outlook, the whole economic picture. It's a sign of broad-based momentum building up.
Good news then. But not all smooth sailing on the infrastructure front. The Mumbai-Ahmedabad bullet train project.
Ah, the high-speed rail. What's up?
Seems some key tunnel boring machines, German ones, are stuck at a Chinese port.
Oh, that's not good.
No. And the MEA, the Ministry of External Affairs, is now flagging potential delays because of it.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it just shows how tricky these huge international projects can be.
Supply chain issues.
Supply chains, logistics, even diplomacy. A bottleneck like machines stuck in a port can throw off timelines, budgets. It's complex.
Definitely a headache. Okay, another international company story in India. Tesla.
Right, their India plans. What's the latest?
Well, their strategy seems to, for now at least, just importing and selling cars. No factory investment plan so far.
Interesting, especially with the government pushing Make in India incentives for EV manufacturing.
Exactly. It kind of goes against that push.
So the implications, well, importing usually means higher prices, right? Due to duties.
Likely.
And it means fewer local jobs compared to building a factory. Plus, it impacts the whole idea of developing a strong domestic EV ecosystem. It's a trade-off. Tesla's global strategy versus India's local manufacturing goals.
A clash there, perhaps. Now for something completely different.
Yeah.
A local discovery.
Oh, cool. What is it?
A new species of gecko. Dravido kunur, found in the upper Nilgiris, named after the town Kunur, just described by scientists.
That's fantastic. Little discoveries like that are so important.
Why is that?
For biodiversity, conservation, it reminds us there's still so much we don't know about our own planet, even in relatively well-studied areas. We need to protect these habitats to protect these unique species.
Good point. Okay, one last item from India.
Yeah.
Sports. Specifically, para-athletics.
Ah, yes, the upcoming World Championships.
Right. They launched the mascot today. It's called Viraj, a tiger with a prosthetic blade, symbolizing resilience, inclusion.
Nice symbol.
The championships are in Delhi, September 27th to October 7th, 2025. And it's the first time India is hosting this big international parasports event.
And this raises an important question, or maybe highlights a trend. India's growing soft power through sports. Hosting major events like this, especially parasports, which emphasizes inclusion, it sends a strong message globally. Plus, it hopefully boosts parasports within India, too.
Right. Inspires people, improves infrastructure, maybe.
Exactly.
Okay, just to quickly tie up a couple of broader economic threads from today.
Yeah.
We saw oil and gas prices easing a bit after that Iran-Israel de-escalation news.
Yeah, a bit of relief there. Good for India's import bill.
Definitely. And the Reserve Bank of India, they held the repo rate steady. The governor basically said, let's wait and see, given all the global uncertainty.
Makes sense. A cautious approach.
So that's a whirlwind tour of June 24th.
It really is.
Wow.
From NATO defense spending to, well, a new gecko in the Nilgiris.
Oh, wait, the range.
So what does this all mean for you listening in? I think the big takeaway is just how connected everything is.
Yeah, the ripple effects.
Exactly. A ceasefire halfway across the world impacts oil prices, which affects budgets here. A policy decision like Tesla's import strategy impacts local jobs. A scientific discovery like those asteroids has implications for everyone's long-term safety. Nothing happens in isolation.
Even the small details can have big consequences down the line.
Precisely. So maybe a final thought to leave you with. Think about these big forces colliding. You've got this push for higher defense spending in the West, these very fragile peace efforts in critical regions, and nations juggling economic strategies like Make in India versus import models.
How does it all fit together?
Right. How might these things shape global power, economic flows, maybe even unexpected alliances or tensions over the next year? And what other connections, maybe ones we didn't even touch on today, might pop up from today's news tomorrow?
Food for thought.